we're gonna make some spooky fingers for this Halloween. First of all, take some monster clay, heat it up for a little while. Be a little careful because this does heat up pretty quick. There we go. Nice and soft, should be warm to the touch, and you should be able to make an imprint. So what I'm gonna be doing here is flattening to some degree, starting with my thumb, going thumb side down. It will create a little bit of a crease if you do it really quickly. We're making quite a few to make a bowl, so it doesn't have to be perfect. But you want to capture all the thumbnail detail. Here, boop. Give it a little stand. Now, pushing it down a little bit, trying to keep the thumb detail without like wiggling your thumb out, but without messing it up too much. There we go. Cool. So we've got a mold. We're gonna toss it into the fridge. Only really has to sit in here for a few minutes. Back. So basically we're gonna be pouring silicone into these molds. In order to do that, I've gotten myself some Dragon Skin 20. You can get like EcoFlex 50. Smooth On makes a good product. You can find it online or possibly at a local craft store. What we're gonna do is mix part A and part B together. It's equal volume, so weight or volume, they're both the same weight as well. All right, it's good to get around eye level, get a good sense for what you're doing. And I'm gonna put in, I think I'm gonna do 3, maybe 4. I'm gonna do 4 fluid ounces of each. That'll give me 8 in total, which will not, well actually I don't wanna quite go that high. So we'll do 3.5, I think that'll be better. Because this will expand, it'll probably overflow even with just this much, so you do want to account for that. We do have a vacuum chamber. You can do this without a vacuum chamber. It is not necessary, but if you want fewer bubbles, it is. So, like I said though, this is just a little Halloween thing, so you can actually just do this at home without a vacuum chamber and it will work just fine. You'll just want to pour your silicone together in a very particular way, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by that momentarily. There we go. Part A, part B. Next up, to make pink, because we want some fleshy fingers here, you can make brown, you can make whatever colors you want. We've got several different sort of shades you can play around, make some green ones, some creepy zombie fingers if you want. Whatever color suits your fancy, go for it. For me, I'm gonna go ahead and just drip a decent amount of this. These are not super duper strong. These are decently strong, but not so overpowering. Let me see if I can just flip the this one. I haven't used white before. So white and red make pink. That's a general sort of rule. Very helpful, I know. And we're just gonna mix these two things together. Now, you'll wanna keep track of the pot life. I believe the pot life for this exact silicone is around 15 minutes. Means that as soon as silicone hits silicone, if you know what I'm saying, you got 15 minutes of fame. And after that, it is gonna start to cure on you 100%. So, you've got plenty of time. You don't have to rush or be too stressed about it, but it's good to get moving once this step happens. Ooh, there we go. Bubble gum. Make some creepy fingers. Oh, love it. I'm gonna do a little bit more of the white just to make it a little bit less translucent, a little bit more opaque. I'm gonna add a little bit yellow, just like make them like the jaundiced fingers. Just make them a little less piggy pink. There we go. Delightful.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, this has come along. I think that's actually not a bad color at all.
No, that's kind of perfect.
I'm gonna go a little bit stronger with all the colors, so it's roughly the same ratio, just so it's a little less translucent. That's quite a bit more yellow, so I'm gonna have to do quite a bit more red and then quite a bit more white to sort of balance it to get like the level of translucence or opacity that you want. There we go. I'll lighten it up a little bit and keep the same sort of color, but make it so that you can't see through as easily. So, pretty colors. This is the most frothy, fleshy,
It's pretty good.
creepy sort of color. This is gonna be great. Perfect. A little bit like sort of red tinted. It's gonna look great for decapitated fingers.
Decapitated.
Do you decapitate fingers, or I guess?
No, that's a head.
Yeah.
An amputated finger.
Yeah, amputated fingers. That's what we'll call this color. Amputated fingers. Patent it. And let's do it. My hands are getting tired. This is actually harder than it looks. Very viscous. That's the word of the day. And a great Halloween word too, actually. Viscous fluids. All right. So this is definitely going to like overrun in here, but that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and toss it into the vacuum chamber. Boop. And this is fun. It's gonna get loud here. We'll record the whole thing, but probably speed it up or something.
Itchy.
Nice.
It's like trying to hold a stove at itchy calves.
There you go.
Itchy tasty.
It's like a witch's cauldron. Hey! Yeah, it's going over a little bit. It's not actually too bad at all. There, this is where like most of the air will actually come out. You have to let it do this part. This is where it kind of is gasping and releasing the most of the built up sort of air bubbles. So these bubbles would all be present in your silicone if you didn't off gas, like if you didn't use a vacuum chamber. However, the interesting thing about it is that you won't really see most of them because a lot of them are going to be inside the mixture. Very few will be surface bubbles, and you can kind of get away with it even without doing this. Just because these bubbles are all exaggerated so much under vacuum. So we have our silicone and we got our creepy fingers, and I'm going to basically be trying to pour nice and evenly. You want to pour into the low point of each one of these molds and just try and keep it still. You want to try and pour a really thin stream because that'll actually help get rid of like any minor bubbles as well. It's not perfect, but if you don't have a vacuum chamber, this is what I'm talking about. If you can see how the stream is very thin, it means that the bubbles that do end up in there just don't have that much room to sort of exist. So this is a good way to sort of make sure. Now the reason why you want to start at a low point and just sort of let it fill up on its own without sort of moving and trying to slosh it too much is to try and avoid bubbles. I'll just sort of wiggle a little, but that's okay. Move on to the next one. Should just sort of fill up naturally. Thumbs and fingers and stuff like that in general don't have too many places where bubbles can sort of happen. So I'm just gonna fill all of these up. As you can see, we'll do one more after this. But yeah, just fill these all up and we'll see you on the next part. We're spooking this up a little bit. I'll probably do a little bit more after, but we'll see. Basically, I mixed some red silicone, doing the exact same sort of thing. I didn't really bother degassing this because actually with the blood, I don't really mind if there's a couple bubbles. I think it'll just make it look creepier. So this is just gonna basically bloody up the end of each one of these digits. And then I've got a little bit of white. We'll do that in a moment too. You'll definitely want to do this on like a table that isn't like a wood countertop or something like that. But as long as it's a non-porous sort of tabletop, silicone once dry will be very easy to clean up. So that's the nice thing about it. Cool. Looking absolutely ghoulish. All right, so actually with this one, I'm gonna go ahead and grab a paintbrush. We are going to just dab this one on. Just Just be patient. Just help it along. Creepy. There we go.
Really thin bone for a
You know what?
thumb.
Fine. We can go thicker. But I do want to keep it circular, so. There we go. Pretty good. Pretty good if I do say so myself. Now we just have to do that 13 more times and we're good. Excellent. There we go. So yeah, I guess we'll just sort of move on. You get the idea, and we'll see you as we're pulling these guys. All right, so here we are. These have had a chance to cure. Ooh, stretchy and gross. Love it. And there we go. We have a very creepy.
Oh my god, that's so gross.
That's so disgusting.
I wanna see it.
I love it.
That's my pinky.
Yeah, it is. That is so creepy. All right. Let's do some more. Let's do some more flingers here.
Oh, that's.
Oh man, that is upsetting. It's a little deformed, but actually that just adds to the
works
charm.
for it.
Yeah. All right, let's do a couple more here.
Should have done her toes. Should have done her big toes.
Gross. There we go. Got Jai's thumb here. That is very, very upsetting.
The like bloody stump.
I think each one of these is more upsetting than the previous one, actually. And you can actually cut little tiny pieces out of these things and make it look like really gory. But yeah, there you go. Halloween fingers.
Gross.
As you can see, we have a gory mess in front of us. This is going to be the final sort of approach here. It doesn't have to be perfect, but what I'm going to be doing is I've mixed a little bit of white, a little bit of red, and I'm just going to basically paint this on as best I can. Now, keep in mind, painting with like silicone is tricky. A lot of the time people will sort of thin it and use airbrush to get a cleaner look, but for this, other than the nails just like coming out with this pretty glossy coat, the blood and stuff needs to be messy anyway, so we're not gonna stress it. So you can see we've got one nail on there, and we are just gonna bloody this up. Now you can use green, yellow, make some pussy zombie fingers, whatever you wanna do. I'm just gonna stick with the tried and true blood red. Give them all a little bit of a manicure, and we are golden. So as you can see, there's no wrong way to put the gore on. You do want to try and avoid like making it look like it's being painted on too much. Let it drip a bit. The silicone will kind of end up settling a bit, so it's not going to quite dry as crisp and clean as you might like, because it does tend to sort of pool. But
That looks pretty good.
yeah, it's pretty good. We're gonna have the
One
nail
more fingy.
nail side down. We got one more finger to do, but you get the idea. Anyway, hope that you enjoyed the Snapjaw Halloween finger tutorial.
Yeah. Anyways,
Tutorial nobody asked for, but everybody needed.
hold on. Halloween fingies.